I only had 2 grade schools. I was living in the county at the time, in the north part of Glendale today, and I said, really? And so I started to get really involved in schools, in the school process, of belonging to the groups and participating and being the good mother that I wanted to be. And finally, I said to my husband, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to run for the school board. And he said, really? I said, yes. I said, I think I can make a difference. He says, well, I think you can. But he says, you know, if I were you, I'd run for the legislature. He says, I think that you would make a difference in the legislature. I said, do you think I'm conservative enough? He said, absolutely. I said, are you sure? He said, oh, I'm sure. He said, I'm really sure. And so I said, let me think about that. A week later, he comes home. I'm sitting in the den. He walks through, and I'm sitting there young and young. I like that. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to run for the legislature. He says, really? I said, yes. I said, will you support me? He said, of course. I said, no, I mean financially, so I don't have to ask anybody for any money. And he said that he would, and I said, okay. And so he took me out, and he said, you need to do this, this, and this. I said, okay. And he says, you have to gather signatures. I said, oh, no. I never, I didn't think I was going to like that at all. And so he took me out to an A.J. Bayless grocery store, put me in the parking lot, and went up and asked for questions. He's a little bit more political than I was at the time. And he asked people, that he was Jan Brewer, and his wife was running for the legislature in District 19 at the time. And would they, if they were registered Republicans, would they sign my petition? And people said yes. I thought, wow, that's cool. And so I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. And I walked up, and I was, a little bit cautious. And I went up to the first person, and they said, yes. And I said, okay. And I asked the next one, they said, okay. And I thought, well, this is easy. Every day, I would either walk in the neighborhoods, my little tennis shoes, by myself, or at a grocery store, or at the fire department, at the post office, getting those signatures. And I really got wound up about it. And I was so excited. And when I won, I was so disappointed because I wanted to know who those people were that didn't vote for me. I said, who are those people? So you never know when you start off in politics where you're going to end up. I was innocent, just trying to do what I believed was right. And I only mention all of that because as I look out at all of you, and particularly the younger kids out here that are involved in politics at a young age, you will make such a huge difference in our future. You are our future, The way our country is going, if we don't have you, we will not have a future, my friends. We will not have a future. So here I am today again, campaigning, talking to people, and fighting hard for Arizona. We have been so successful since I have been governor in regards to getting Arizona turned around. I came in with a plan. I was the only one with the plan. Currently, I'm still the only one with the plan, regardless of what rhetoric you might hear some places. But the fact of the matter is that I said that we need to turn the economy around. We need to bring jobs. And we cut the budget, like I said, $2.2 billion. We balanced the budget. We have brought in over 38 new companies into Arizona, over $2 billion in hard capital assets into Arizona, and over 7,000 new jobs into Arizona since I have been governor. The very first thing that I did is I put a moratorium on all the rules and regulations so the businesses here could flow and work and have predictability, and so that companies that we were looking to bring to Arizona would have that stability and that predictability, and it has worked out. And then I said to every one of my directors, we in government are not here to get in the way of the private enterprise system. We are in the business of helping people to cut through the red tape and the green tape. That's our job. That is what we're going to do, and it has been successful. That's why we were able to encourage those businesses to come here, and we have more to come. I mean, my goodness, Business Facilities Magazine has said that Arizona today is the king of solar. I mean, that is our future. That's our greatest resource, solar. And we have it under my leadership, and we're going to continue going that direction. And I said we needed it, and I called for it. In 2009, tax reform. We have to have tax reform. We have to be competitive with California, Nevada, and Texas. It's as simple as that. And I called for it. We're going to continue working in that direction. It has to be tax reform that we can afford. We cannot bankrupt the state, but we have got to do it. And I think that we need to reduce that corporate income tax, and I think we need to reduce that business personal property tax. Those are the things that people look at, and Arizona is extremely high. And from there we will keep working together. You know, we have just about changed everything. You know, we changed the Department of Commerce, we changed the way education. Who would have ever thought in education that we would have had everybody around the table in order to come together to go and apply for Race to the Top? We had everybody from everywhere there, all wanting that same common goal. That has never happened in the history of the state. You know, and I was proud of that. And although we didn't win, we came in pretty darn good. And then we said, Arizonans aren't quitters. We're going to do it again. And we even got better. And we came in 19. Now, I will tell you, honestly, I think we should have came in probably 1, 2, or 3. I think it was politics. I truly, truly do. You ever get the feeling people are picking on Arizona? You know, we are, of course, as you all are aware, a nation of laws. We have always believed that. And I'll talk a little bit about Senate Bill 1070. As that bill went through the legislature, I knew it was going to be controversial. Of course it's going to be controversial because we knew how it was going to get spun, if you will, by the federal government and by people here in Arizona. And so we monitored it, and we walked through the legislature watching it very, very carefully. And I made sure that we added our input into it, and I thought we had it all in line and everything was perfect. And then the bill was sent up to me, and then we realized that we really needed to amend the bill because I was a little bit uncomfortable because I knew the first thing that anybody would say, even though we made absolutely sure that it mirrored federal law correctly and totally. That was our goal. And so we knew that. But I said, no, we're going to put another section in there that would prohibit any racial profiling. Make it perfectly clear. Well, hello. You know, I signed the bill, and what happens? The federal government goes berserk. I mean, absolutely berserk. The President of the United States. Can you believe it? If you go to Phoenix and you're walking down the street licking an ice cream cone, you're going to get thrown in jail, you know. Eric Holder says that it's racial profiling. You know, I mean, the highest elected law enforcement officer in the state, and Homeland Security, Janet Napolitano. You know, she knows the issues that we're facing here. And then when they're asked, have you ever read the bill? I don't think so. And my little video goes, seriously? Seriously? And it was an outrage. It was an absolute outrage. It mirrors federal law. So then, what do we hear on the news from Ecuador? Hillary! We're going to sue Arizona. They let Ecuadorians know, before they let us know, that the United States is going to sue Arizona. I was aghast. I mean, it was just outrageous. It was horrible. And then I find out not only they're going to sue Arizona, but they're going to sue Janice K. Brewer also. Wow. So, you know, it was like, oh, well, we're not going to stand for that. So we got ready for the battle. And we knew that our Attorney General, I mean, he testified against Senate Bill 1070, loud and clear. And so he wasn't going to defend us. So we thought, well, what are we going to do? So, of course, you all are familiar. We got the legislature to send us legislation, which I signed, saying that I could hire my own legal counsel. And then I had to see how we were going to pay for it. You know? And so we developed the Legal Defense Fund. We have raised probably, I think the last number is between $3.8 and $3.9 million from people in Arizona and from people from every state in our country, including Puerto Rico. And so, I mean, and Guam.